Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nemeka Onyeka. One of the reasons why evil and iniquity continue to grow in this land called Nigeria, and why most of us still engage more in religious awareness, because we are in a society where there are no consequences for wrong behavior, for criminality, for fraud, and for everything that is against values and principles. You know, we condone evil, we embrace it. Most of us romance iniquity, because we've discovered that in this society where we are today, there are no consequences for evil, for criminality, and for fraud. In fact, in Nigeria, victims of wickedness are actually the real victims, because they don't even receive any justice or succor because of the way they operate in Nigeria. You know, why the West, America, Canada, UK, Germany, even Asia, Japan, South Korea, why they are where they are today is because there are laws, rules that people must obey, irrespective of your level, irrespective of your class, irrespective of your status. But here in Nigeria, we have an animal farm kind of system, an animal farm kind of society. As of 2007, when Obasanjo handed over power, we had a very robust middle class population of about 4 million. They were actually the conscience of the nation. The middle class was the conscience. That's where you have class of people, men and women, who always stand as the moral bulwark of the society. But today, over the last 9 years, the middle class have been totally eroded in Nigeria. In fact, there are very few who can actually classify themselves as middle class. Nigeria is actually practically divided into two. The very, very poor, 197 million Nigerians, and then the very few middle class, less than 500,000, and then the bourgeoisie, mostly the political class, and their private sector criminal fronts, and the very, very few people. And because the voice of the conscience of the nation, the middle class, have been so drowned that we are very, very few who are actually alive to their responsibilities in adherence and defense of principles, ethics, and the moral high ground. So I've discovered that is why people will collect bribe, will collect money to sell their vote. When you ask them, they say poverty is not an excuse to be wicked. Poverty is not an excuse to be very unprincipled. Some of us were very poor. We were born into very poor, humble background. Some of us were old enough to vote in between 1999 and 2003, and we never showed our votes, despite the fact that things were difficult for us growing up as young men and young women. So all these excuses, people, they are poor, poverty has been this, it's because there are no consequences at the end of the day. Because we live in a society where people do all manner of giveaway. In America, nobody gives you away. In America, in Europe, in the UK, everybody works for what he eats. Religion has blinded us, banal, iniquitous religion that has nothing to do with the character of Christ, that has nothing to do with the fruit of the Spirit. People do what they do and get away. They sell their votes, and then for the remaining 4 years, because they believe that there are people that will come and do GoFund for them, help them carry their shit. Let me tell you, and this message is for the middle class, for those that have conscience, for even the wealthy that has conscience. Let me tell you, Nigeria has gotten to a state where everybody must bear his cross. Enough of all, because these people are wicked. It's wickedness to sell your vote. It is iniquitous to sell your conscience and then come back again to cry for the remaining 4 years, looking for who will bail you out, seeking for who will give you urgent 5,000, urgent 10,000. I have made up my mind. Then see, and everybody should carry his. For me and my household, everybody. Joshua said, "See, Israel, it has gotten to this point where all of you you've seen what God have done. You have seen the mercy of God, the goodness of God, but you are still stiff-necked in your wickedness. I'm not going to beg you." Joshua said, "Choose you what you want to do with your lives." For me and my household, we've chosen to serve God, to stand for morality, to stand for the principles. When Nigerians decide to fix Nigeria, this country will be fixed. So for most of you who believe you can sell your vote and then for the remaining 4 years, put your burden on others, when you're supposed to have your burdens alleviated through good governance that will put you to productive work, something is about to happen. And I want to appeal to every Nigerian. Everybody must carry his cross. Don't waste your time before you even see. I just don't know what to say. May God help us. I'm tired.